Good morning, y'all. Today is Sunday, and I'm starting to amend the beds. I was making the video yesterday and realized how awful everything looked, and it was some motivation to start doing something about it. So this morning, right when Home Depot opened, I made myself a little trip for some supplies so that I don't necessarily have to do everything right now. Like, there's no way I could get it done all in one sweep, but I can do a little bit at a time, and that's not too overwhelming. So let me show you what I got. We have the Black Cow composted manure, some Texas native compost. These are the things that I will be amending in that bed right now. And then we have some, this wood still needs to be cut up. We have some shredded cedar mulch that's organic. So we will be topping that in that bed right there, and we will be pulling out all the weeds. I'm somewhat considering getting rid of this too. So we're gonna get rid of all of that. We're gonna pull up these plants, weed all this grass out, and make it look a lot better. I do like to aerate my soil because we tend to be a little more clay heavy. So I have a pitchfork to do that, and let's get to work. So, I don't know if you can see me. So, this bed has never grown anything well since I established it almost a year ago when we moved into this house. And now I know why. I did this on a no-dig method, same way I did everything else. For some reason, this soil is extremely compacted. Like, you've seen me try and get in there. I'm only halfway through the bed, very compact. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't mulch. Not really sure why that is. I'm also freaking dripping in sweat because this is so hard. So this is probably gonna be the hardest bed, but now I know why things weren't growing very well in this bed. So, you know, you live and learn. Every time I would pull plants out of this bed, the roots were always super shallow, which is a pretty good indication of compacted soil. So I think in addition, I'm gonna add some mycorrhizal fungi, like powder, into this bed to just introduce a little more life into the soil and hopefully, you know, keep it from getting this compacted again, because, man, I am struggling. I thought I was gonna be able to get this done in an hour, and now I'm a little unsure. Okay, y'all, I just need to show you how hard this ground is. Look at this. It's just literally a rock. So I'm not going to subject you to watching any more of this. We're going to spread some compost and some black cow manure and this mycorrhizal fungi called Mycos. And this is a fungus. Fungi is really important to, fungi is super important to soil health because it helps eat away and break down things. So it's like not that hot out. I should not be sweating as much as I'm currently sweating, but I'm just having to work so hard to get this pitchfork down in the ground that I'm dripping sweat. So I'll catch up with you later. Hello. So I took the dogs on a walk this morning, and then I decided, that humidity every time. As we all know, I've been struggling to find the motivation and time to clean out my beds. I would like to report I think I have found a system, and things are starting to look fresh and clean. I'm pretty sure I got bit by something the other day while I was gardening. It's fine. So what I've been doing is, I'm gonna set you down. So what I've been doing is I have been putting on a 15-minute timer, either like right after I get done walking in the morning, or like, you know, if I'm like in a mid-morning or even lunch hour kind of situation, I put on a 15-minute timer and I come out here and I do as much as I can in 15 minutes. I'm not rushing, I'm not doing anything crazy, but I think like when you've got like a lot of gardens or a lot of space, it can seem way more overwhelming than it actually is. And so my grandma always tells me, simple by the inch, impossible by the mile. So if I can just do 15-minute intervals for like a week, it's all done. And I've even, so I came out here with what you guys saw last time, and I was out here for like an hour getting that one bed really nicely like broad forked and looking really good. I got a paper towel so it'll actually absorb the humidity on the lens. Oh, there's it right there. Okay, so I don't remember where I left off. So I spent about an hour on that one bed that was just like compacted. You saw me dripping sweat. It was bad. Don't know why it was like that. I wish I would have written down exactly what I put in there. But I can also say I have not done anything to that bed since I established it almost a year ago. So really hoping that the mycorrhizal fungi and all of the composted cow manure and just organic compost, hoping that that all really makes a difference. But I've gone ahead and cleaned out my trellises, and this whole like 15-minute spurts of time, I've only done it twice and I've gotten so much done. I actually can't believe it. So let me show you how fresh and clean everything is looking, because you saw it when it looked like shit, and you can also probably hear the garbage truck because, you know, urban gardening. Here's this bed completely finished. The mulch looks really fluffy right now. I tried to get it as flat as possible, but this will all kind of get compacted down as everything kind of settles. But this I'm feeling great about. This is all of the weeds and trellis material that has been taken off so far. This is nice and clean now. Now I had planted, these are Montauk daisies I planted last year. They're not looking great. I put some liquid fertilizer on them. I don't love doing that unless a plant's like really looking like garbage, but I mean, this bloom literally rotted before it could even bloom. So I would really like for these to come back to life because they are beautiful and they've managed to make it. But got all of this cleared. I think I'm gonna go ahead and remulch this, and then my beans will go on this trellis, but this trellis is like totally cleared. I went ahead and pulled the pumpkin that was in here. It had been nailed by the bugs, like the squash vine borers. So this is the next bed that's due to be amended. And I might throw a little bit more mulch on it, TBD. This was the bed I was working on. You can see where I had to stop right here. So this was the bed I was working on when my timer went off. And so, you know, this other half will probably take me like 15 minutes. And then I'm done weeding this part, and I'm just gonna fork it and amend it, and then go ahead and mulch it. Slow and steady wins the race. Not that there's any winning, but I do think this whole like 15-minute interval thing really works well, especially for somebody who works full-time like I do. So there's that. And also I know that when I do my community plot, that's gonna be a lot more work. I'm gonna have to be pulling plants, amending and mulching. So I'll probably break that up into like one weekend I pull all the plants and weed. One weekend I, you know, fork the soil and amend, and then 1 week I mulch because it's just a much larger space to tackle and I have to drive there, whereas like this is in my backyard. So it's definitely, I've learned over the years that doing things in pieces is much better. When I first got my community garden plot, and that was like my first big garden, me and my boyfriend, we went out there and it was, I kid you not, 6 foot tall with weeds, a 10 foot by 20 foot area, 6 foot high with weeds. We literally macheted it all down, pulled it out, bagged it, hauled it out, and then I mulched a section of it and planted it. And literally we did that all in one day. And it was like early September, and I just remember it was so humid. It was so gross. We were just like drenched in sweat and we were so tired. And so I'm definitely learning as I'm like, maybe it's like wisdom with age thing, that just like taking your time, going slow. It doesn't all have to happen right this second. That is a much better system for success than going balls to the walls and just, honestly, just freaking killing yourself. So that's my encouragement to you. Set your timer for 15 minutes, get whatever you can done, and then go back inside and live your life. And if you do that like once a day for like a week or two, you are set. You are totally set. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of reconfiguring as well. This little wild area of lavender and snapdragons. I don't know that I love it, to be honest. I think I'm going to move those 2 grow bags because this grass around it is just kind of growing out of control. And yeah, there'll just be a little bit of reconfiguring happening, but I'm starting to feel really good about the progress of all of this. Even though it's still a little messy, we still got stuff everywhere, the progress is happening. And look at all these cute little zinnias coming up where I throw all of my stems. So, oh, and I got this weeded yesterday. I forgot I did that. It still looks a little wild, but honestly, I kind of like it that way. All right, y'all, I will see you later in the week. Woo! Hey, y'all. How's it going? I just got done with a very long day of work, and I'm about to close out this week's vlog with showing you all of these seedlings we've transplanted and proving to you that they will bounce back. They're gonna look really bad after you transplant them. We separated seedlings in last week's video. So here you go. These are all collard greens that we transplanted after they were a bit leggy, and they are bouncing back. And they look really good. They're doing well. These are more of them that we've transplanted, so some of these are getting really large, especially this broccoli. Oh, I'm basically growing microgreens, but they're gonna be separated. This is my project for the weekend. Like, this is the only project I have this weekend. This is like my only prerogative. Although look at this Japanese red mustard. It's really pretty. And then also I brought some seedlings outside. So these are Bambino marigolds, and these are zinnias. Now the zinnias got a little leggy and they're kind of a mess. I need to get them planted out, and they're going through a tiny bit of shock, but I think they're gonna be okay. So we're gonna get these planted out this weekend, as well as everything else done. Just wanted to give you those few updates on this week's activities here at Seed to Plate in the garden. It's been a crazy week, y'all. So, happy gardening. Thanks for being here. We will see you next time.